Hi, everybody, and welcome to our collages inspired by Sonia Delaunay. We'll be looking at a book in class soon called A Life of Color, based on the work of Sonia Delaunay, who's of French origin, and she is really fascinated with all kinds of shapes in her work. She's a painter, but again, this is kind of like her style, these concentric shapes. Concentric shapes are ones that are it's a shape inside of a shape inside of a shape. So kind of even think like the Target logo. She's also fascinated with lines of symmetry within her work also, and the use of positive and negative space. Positive space is the positive shape or space is the shape that stands out first. Negative shape or space would be the space around a positive. So this would be positive, and then this would be negative. So students recently worked on something called monoprints, and monoprints were this process where we would take these tins, we'd put tempera paint over the top of it. We learned about warm and cool colors. Remember, the warm colors are, yeah, that's right, red, orange, and yellow. Okay, and then who remembers what are the cool colors? Yeah, that's right. The cool colors are green, blue, and then purple. Okay, so we're going to take what we did, those monoprints, meaning that we make one print at a time. We're going to start to take those and we're going to start to put them into a collage. Remember, a collage is when we cut paper and glue it onto paper. You're right. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We did so many different kinds of monoprints. Here's where I'd like you to start. We're going to go ahead and you're going to get your monoprints handed back from last time. Now, if you missed one of those sessions, either warm or cool, no sweat. We got you covered. We've got tons of extra ones. I printed extra ones. Some kids have donated extra prints, so we're in really good shape. But here's how it's going to work. Each one of you, we're going to start to cut these out in the shape of a circle, just like how we printed them. Now, let me clear my paper for just a second. We're going to start with a sheet of black paper. It's 9 inches by 9 inches. I would love if you could, in one of the corners, will you go ahead and put your name in pencil? And then you're going to go ahead and put your class code. Okay, so you can see I just very, very lightly, you can see the shimmer of my name with the graphite pencil. All right, so you're going to go ahead and start to cut out your monoprints, both cool and warm colors. Now, after that point, here's what I'd love for you to start to do. We're going to make a 3 by 3 pattern. So total, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shapes on there. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So look at, you could start to alternate them a little bit. Now, here's the cool part about this also. Now, some of them have different shades and colors in them, but here's the beautiful part. We're also going to, inside of our supply bins will have a variety of cool and warm colors for you to use. Plus, we'll have scissors and then we'll have glue sticks. Okay, typical things inside of some of our supply bins. Now, the beautiful part about this, once you've started to get some of your shapes, let me get a few more. Ooh, this one is great. This person did some, I borrowed some kid shapes here. Look at this. They ended up doing a kind of a swirl in there. I'm going to put that in the middle as more of a focal point. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, I love it. It's okay to get excited, right? Okay, this one I'm going to trim just a tish more, make it more of a circle. Now, here's the beautiful part. We're also going to start to overlap some of these shapes to bring them together, just like the spirit of Sonia Delaunay. So this overlapping, so some are behind, some are in front. I'm going to do my placements first, and then I'm going to start to glue down. So you might have to work, at a good pace here. More cutting, less chatting, right? As we start to work on this. Okay. So I'm going to put the smaller one a little bit more in the middle. Okay, so once you've got kind of the 3 by 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you've got it on there, now we're going to start to figure out how you might start to integrate some of these other colors. So I actually put a green behind one of these colors. I think I might actually stick that in the middle. Let me see. Let me do another overlapping one and see how that might work. So I'm actually going to glue this down. Remember, don't put glue on the paper, right? Because it can get everywhere. Just put it on the actual shape you want to put down. Okay. And our goal today is to focus again on this idea of concentric or overlapping shapes, shapes inside of shapes inside of shapes. Oh, I got a little bit excited there. Let me adjust my glue. There we go. Actually, there. This is the beautiful part about not gluing things down right away, so you can work with the composition or how things are laid out. Okay, so I'm starting to put some of these colors underneath. Now, I'm also, check this out. I'm going to go ahead, and Sonia Delaunay did this a lot in her work. She would actually do half circles or semicircles. And I'm going to start to put some of those on the top. I think that looks kind of interesting. Another thing that she would oftentimes do, she would take a semicircle and she would cut out a shape from that, but then watch, here's the kicker. I'm going to lay that one down, and now I'm going to put it on the other side. So check that out. So again, it's a kind of a shape inside of a shape, but this would be the positive space. That would be the negative space on the inside. So the goal for today is to experiment with circles inside of circles, concentric shapes, overlapping. I want you to play with these lines of symmetry. Okay, so how might you um, start to divide some of your shapes in half? And how might you start to divide them like this to create positive and negative shapes? So I wish you the best as you start to cut your shapes. Remember, some of these, if you don't use them, you can always donate them. We've got a bin at the very end of class that we can toss them into so other kids can use them. And then when you're done with your placement, let's go ahead and glue them on down. Let's get started.